You want to speak first?
Thank you, Commissioner. I reviewed this, and our constituents have spoken. We looked at the fact we implemented the extended hours at the end of the year for 6 months, compared the same data to last year, and there was a 44% increase in passport revenue during the first 6 months of this with the extended hours. And that's because people would go in before work and after work. And Fridays they had. Now, I would offer to the court, I could do Fridays 8 to 5 if we gave it one more person. And continue to accumulate the passport revenue. I think it was about $65,000 is what we got extra. So, and I say that my constituents, these are also your constituents too. They spoke.
Yes, they're here Friday afternoons trying to get passports.
Pardon?
They're here Friday afternoons trying to get passports.
Well, what we've done, our business on the island has increased. We say, if you want a passport, drive for 20 minutes down the island, and they do it. So we noticed the Friday afternoons have increased. And I would love to get one more person, and I could open 8 to 5 on Fridays. But continue to please the constituents Monday to Thursday, because if you have a child under 16, you have to have both the parents there and the child, which is almost impossible. That's why we have passport rates, unless you come before work or after work. So, I mean, the stats are a lot. I mean, 44% increase in revenue.
So, in what?
In revenue, passport revenue. So, they spoke, and I'm an elected official. You are too. We have the same constituents, and I'm not going to thumb my nose up and say, no, I'm going to ignore you. You told me what you want, and I want to make that happen.
So I had a question. What was the amendment that we were discussing? Can you explain the amendment?
Well, there is no amendment yet, other than TBD, to be determined today, so that we can discuss it and vote on it, and then put it into writing.
Okay, I thought it was the amendment to be approved.
No, well, that's right, but we don't have a backup amendment because it hasn't been written. So we're gonna discuss it and figure out what that is, and then put it into print.
So if y'all with one more employee, you can accomplish.
One more, I can accomplish everything. Yeah, like I say, it's about $60,000, which is more than what it costs for an employee over there. And I could do, I want to please my constituents, as you do too, I'm sure. And we could do the extended hours Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 5 on Friday.
With the extended hours, you mentioned the passport fees and stuff that we get.
Right.
With the additional employees and the extended hours, you think that would kind of help pay for that position?
Well, absolutely. Like I say, it's $60,000 right now. And our revenues go up every year. And so, I think it definitely would. So that would make, I think, the constituents happy, and that they still have Friday. I mean, I understand Friday afternoon if you want to get the business done and they're not there, but you have the other benefits of being extended hours, especially for passports, it's important to me, to get both parents and the child there.
So what are your hours right now, John?
It's 7:30, 5:30, Monday through Thursday, and then we 8 to noon on Friday.
So same as Ms. Johnson,
Yeah, we're the same hours right now. And once again,
in both locations?
no, both locations on the island, it's 8 to 5 every day, so they can get things done. And we have people who want a passport Friday afternoon, come down to the island.
So you can do 8 to 5 on the island without additional employees, but you can't do 8 to 5 here without additional employees?
Actually, it's a different customer base. I mean, here we have more people with kids that want a passport. I mean, that's just the way it is. We're in League City, we're on the mainland, and we see more business in that direction.
Well, what I think I'd like to see, and this goes to Ms. Johnson is as well, is at least League City be open on Friday afternoons. I could possibly give a little on other locations being open on Friday afternoons. And then you don't have there's no mid-county for you.
No, I just have the island.
Just Galveston
Here. And I've not received any complaints from anybody I'm a different business, and I'm doing passport, that's my primary business. Most of the filers are e-filers because they're attorneys. So our traffic into the office, probably 80% passports, if they come in there. It's 80% passports. We actually do more passports than we used to, because they only have one location downtown, and people don't want to go there. So we have a lot of people come from Houston to do passports, and we encourage them. I say Houston, Harris County.
How about you, Ms. Johnson? You want to add to this via your, stay there, John, let's just,
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm not going to go through the different things that I could discuss. I do want to mention that we are online 24/7. We have 6 grocery stores in Lake City, 1 in Dickinson, 2 each in Friendswood, Galveston, and Texas City, for anybody who needs to do a motor vehicle registration renewal. What we discovered on Friday was the people who are coming in on Friday afternoons are either rushing the door at noon, or they've long been expired, and they do not have the information necessary to renew at the grocery stores, and they have no access to the internet. And I can't help everybody with their failures to process their work timely. However, we decided to do the flexible hours post-COVID because nobody wants to come to work anymore. They all want to work remotely, and we can't do that in the business that we have. So we were trying to do something, because our starting line makes $16 an hour. We were trying to come up with a schedule that would give everybody some flexibility without costing the county more money, and that is my goal. And as you all know, I've worked with HR and the commissioners through the years to hold down costs. I'm not proposing we add any more people, and I've chosen not to oppose your proposal, but what I do believe that Commissioner Apfel and I had worked out is we will open League City 8 to 5. I have enough staff that I can have here full-time 8 to 5 if we can keep the other offices on the current schedule, which would give flexibility. Now, my only concern with that is I rotate staff between the offices in the interest of fraud protection. So we will not be able to, we're going to be auditing more in League City. We will rotate management instead of staff in order to make sure that this office is open if this is where your problem is. We're not really I've gotten 3 complaints, people being really irate in 3 years. And no matter how many hundreds of thousands of text statements I send out, and how many Facebook posts, and how much we put it on our website, people just don't pay attention. And you know, it's funny, I wouldn't even take my grandchildren to an arcade yesterday without Googling, and in 3 minutes found out exactly what their hours are. So I'm really surprised that people aren't making an attempt to find out. But I do believe that we presented an option. We don't have to have more staff. I would suggest to John that he flip some of those 8 to 5ers on the island and bring them up here. Because I think that what would be the worst scenario, I will not open 7:30 to 5:30. I can't possibly accommodate that across all the offices. It's just really, and not give a half day off. If we gave a half day off, as we discussed it in office, we work 7:30 to 5:30 and give alternating days off. That might work sometimes, but we have 2 people in operations out of 32 people that are allowed to have vacation on a single day, and anywhere from 3 to 5 people call in sick. So when people call in sick, we suddenly have a manpower issue. And with the satellite offices that we've opened, unless I close those satellite offices, there's no way I can guarantee that I'm not going to have to do what I'm doing now, which is closing offices in order to have trained personnel at each location. So we would be better served. We believe the residents, we believe the county would be better served adopting our hours like every other county in our area. Fort Bend, Harris, Chambers, Liberty all have 8 to 4. So we're already open more than they are. And League City is 8 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and Friday 7:30 to 12. The CAD is 7:30 to 5:30, and Friday 8 to noon. So we feel like we're already providing more hours than most of our fellow governments. But we would prefer to have just the one location. If you want uniform hours and League City is your concern, 8 to 5 here, we'd be more than happy to accommodate. But I think that what you will find is there will be people standing outside trying to get in the door from 7:30 until 8, particularly if they can go into the other offices that are open those hours. We all either need to be the same or we all need to be different.
what other offices are open at 7:30?
I think the constable's open at 7:30, aren't you?
So it sounds like, Ms. Johnson, that your recommendation is to have what is the busiest office, League City office, open 8 to 5 every day. But the other offices have the flexibility to do them 7:30 to 4:30, is that correct?
Right, that would be the most conducive to the staff and would accommodate everybody's desires. What we're trying to do is give them some benefit without increasing pay, without costing the county more money, because having that half day off has really been beneficial for staff. They're still putting in 9 hours, 4 days a week. They're putting in their time. But it has been, they've really enjoyed having that half day to run their errands, to be away from their kids, to be able to do things, take care of business, go to their doctor appointments without having to take time off from work. So that has been really beneficial to them without costing anybody any additional money.
So, Mr. Kennard, is that proposal acceptable to you?
Well, I mean, we're totally different offices. Her primary thing is the license plate renewal, and people want to get that done before the weekend so they don't get arrested. And my primary thing is passports. So I'm looking at the passport customer, and that's a Monday through Thursday crowd. If they want on Friday afternoon, they go down to the office. So, I mean, it's two different, it's apples and oranges, I guess, as far as what we do in our office.
And
So for me, obviously, like I say, the stats already proven that constituents want.
So now, is what Ms. Johnson proposing, is that more acceptable to you than what we proposed last time? Does that get you closer? It's not ideal for you, I hear that, but does it get you closer?
Well, I mean, we can make things happen, whatever we need to make happen, make happen. But once again, my number one priority was the constituents. What do they want?
Sure.
Because that's when I was elected, that's what I was elected for. I want to make them happy.
Mr. Kennard, Ms. Johnson, thank y'all for being here this morning. Thank you for the service that you provide to taxpayers. I think we want to be a great employer. We want to be a place that people enjoy working at. We want to give them opportunities to take off when they need to go and run errands. But I think you both understand, our goal is to offer that same opportunity to citizens who are taking time off from their job to come and run errands. And a lot of times that's on, Friday afternoon. So I think we're getting somewhere that's going to be a benefit to citizens. I think the great thing about this item is if it's not working, we can readdress it as often and as soon as we need to. But I think there's enough people coming up here to this building on Friday afternoons needing services from their government that are being turned away because the offices aren't open. So I appreciate the back and forth. I think that y'all care about your constituents and customers. And this is about offering them the opportunity to have some of the same benefits that our employees enjoy.
And with all due respect, Commissioner, I've been in this position on the longest serving in Dallas County history, 21 years to be exact. I know what the constituents, I believe I know what the constituents want. They want to be available, they want us to be open when they want us to be open, period. And we can't possibly accommodate that and hold taxes down at the same time. So they're gonna have to pick and choose. Do they want these like inconvenienced, or do they want us open all the time? And I don't think that you can accommodate both. You can't accommodate everything. But, we're trying to work with you because what's more important to us is the budget that we have on the table to try and make staff happier and give them opportunities. And right now, the career ladder opportunities that we present in the budget are far more important to us than the hours that we work. We really just don't want to do the 7:30 to 5:30 and not be able to close that half day. The alternative schedules just be a nightmare for us to keep up with.
And, I want to add, we're doing totally different things what I do for my office. So we have to look at each office, who's your clientele, what are the best hours for that clientele. And I think we have the best hours for my clientele. We've not had an issue on Friday afternoon, people are not lined up trying to get in because it's basically passports. And if they want to, they go down to the outlet. So,
But people do show up here Friday afternoon to get passports.
I'm
You're not here, I understand that, but we are and they do.
My survey Friday revealed exactly that. They were here for passports and to get married. And I think they're also coming to your office too.
Yes, that's how we know, because they come into our office complaining. So if it's complaints on Mr. Kennard, I'll get a complaint form together and hand them to him.
So, John, your office in Galveston is open until 5?
It's open to 5, and that's what they're told. They come back and pass it.
So why is it Galveston open till 5 and versus here?
As I said earlier, it's kind of a different clientele that we're catering to here. We're catering to more families up here, and not so much on the island. So the families need to come before work and after work. And if we shut those hours, that's why we got a 44% increase in 6 months, and that's crazy. And that just blindsides you, that they would be that many people are pleased with our new hours. That's what it was. And I think it was $67,000 revenue.
So at least, I mean, I'd be okay if Ms. Johnson at least opened League City or until 5 on Fridays. And if Mr. Kennard's doing that in Galveston, I don't know which is better, here, League City or Galveston. But if you're already doing it in Galveston, then that's kind of the equivalent, but just at a different location.
Not really, they still have to drive 30 miles south of here.
Well, one could argue but Galveston people have to drive 30 miles north of there. So that's all I'm saying. If we're considering letting Ms. Johnson do one office, which is League City until 5 on Fridays, we could consider doing that for Mr. Kennard in Galveston, or maybe we move that to League City too. I don't know. Whatever y'all think.
Well, that's
Is
a
it
different clientele, though. I mean, that's a totally different clientele, which you're dealing with there as opposed to
We
here.
got
So
passports.
there's a reason to be the 5 there, not so much here, I guess, from your research.
And I beg everybody to remember that we just don't do that. We collect $657 million a year in property taxes, TABC licenses, your liquor licenses. We do Texas Parks and Wildlife. We do motor vehicle registrations. We bring in $600,000 more a year in revenue than we cost the county. And so we have confidence that what we're doing is important. People get their registration renewals 2 months in advance. They can renew them in so many different ways. That they choose to not do it until it's expired, I can't help them with that. I need people to pay attention to the literature and read the information that we're presenting to them, and to accept some responsibility for trying to be timely with their work. The only thing you have to come in person to my office for are titles, and that's changing rapidly with DMV and dealers. So, we're certainly open plenty of time for them to do their titles.
I mean, it's not to be argumentative, but what I hear on the streets and in the community is I'm paying part of that $657 million a year, and I expect my government to be open. And so that's the problem,
And the same goes, though, on the flip side of that, I expect them to be open at 7:30 in the morning, maybe 7 in the morning, whenever, So they're always going to argue a time, because y'all weren't there when I wanted to be there, necessarily.
That's right.
And that's true. So you just accommodate the best hours that you can, and roll with it about it.
So I think for both of you, I think the League City office is probably the busier office, correct? Is that correct for you, Mr. Kennard, as well?
Yes.
It does correct for
For
you.
passports now, obviously we do so many more things. I have 53 employees down on the island. So we're doing divorces and cases and everything else. But for passports, like I said, we do more passports in Harris County here. So it's a thriving business. That's what I want to focus on, bring more revenue into the county.
Okay, I'll make a motion to amend our policy to allow 8 to 5 at League City only.
For both,
For both.
for all of them.
Well, that doesn't help you, though, does it, John? I mean,
If you give me one more person, I can do that.
Why couldn't you just surely there's somebody in League City that would love to come to the Friday afternoons here on their way home, so they're that much closer at 5 o'clock.
It used to be that way. It used to be a guard spot here. But now most of my people are out of I don't have a League City person.
Everybody else is taking my employees, I'm sure we have one we can accommodate.
She's pointing at you, Constable West.
And I'll second that.
Yes, seconded by Commissioner Armstrong.
So the motion is to adopt uniform work hours.
To amend, we've already adopted.
Amend the uniform work hours policy to allow these offices to be open only at the League City 8 to 5, minimum 8 to 5, I would still encourage, if there's a way to stagger employees to be open the expanded hours, I'd encourage it. And maybe we sit down and work through it and I'll help brainstorm, but if not, that's okay. I just think there might be a way to stagger employees to keep it open longer.
Well, I think the employees like the flex hours, so I would encourage the flex out. You continue to do that internally, but at the same time, we at least keep this office open until 5.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. This is the busier office here, so I think it's reasonable.
And we've tried to figure that out, but it's like herding cats and 53 different people and different, actually, I think it's going to be 51, you know, all living all over the county and having some off Monday, some off Wednesday, some off Friday. If everybody came to work every day, then it wouldn't be a problem, but they don't. They call in sick, they have family needs, they have issues, and so it's just impossible for us to do the flexible. We've tried to figure out how to do it, and we just can't.
Well, the emails I received 2 weeks ago prior to that vote were numerous, and all employees, I don't know whose office they were in, but they all expressed that they have daycare, so it was good to be there at 7:30, or they had something else in the afternoon, so it was good to leave early. So I can't believe that they wouldn't still be agreeable to that.
Oh, they'd be agreeable, but the problem is when you're managing 4 different locations and you have different people on different half-days off, it's very difficult. I might have only 2 employees in Santa Fe. I might only have 3 people in Texas City. Now, once, you know, we have some 3 large offices, it might be easier to accommodate. But until that happens, it's very difficult in the hour offices. As both you and Commissioner Juicy know, we've had to close Texas City, alternating Texas City and Santa Fe because of staffing issues. And so and it's more trained staffing issues than actually vacancies right now. I think we just filled all the vacancies, but it takes us about a month to 3 months to train somebody to release them out onto a branch. So that's the big problem. That and the satellite offices in Friendswood and Crystal Beach creates a problem with staffing.
John, that doesn't really help your problem though, because you're already open till 5 in Galveston.
Right. So,
Yeah, but if this is the busiest office,
if we go 8 to 5, we're gonna lose that 44% that we gained the first 6 months. So that's $67,000 in revenue will be gone. We lose 44% increase in passport.
You can't really know that not having done it.
Well, you don't know anything, but I do know we went up 44% in 6 months. That's a fact. Those are the numbers. Who knows what's going to happen next year, but we're going to lose that. I assure you, because that's the big issue. That's why if you ever come here for passport day on the weekend, the lines are out to the street, because that's the only time people can get in and get their kids' passports. And we're going to deny them that ability to come before or after. I mean, as you know, it's very quick. It only takes 15 minutes to do it. So if you get it before work, you can get it done. But if you have to come after 8, when you're supposed to be at work, it's not going to be done. And they're not going to be happy. We're not serving our constituents. You know.
I would suggest that as long as they have one of their offices open till 5 o'clock, that should be sufficient. And they choose which office that may be.
And they come down.
Because they know better than we do.
They are here
They come
every
down.
Friday afternoon,
It is-
Commissioner.
I'm sitting in the West County building or in Galveston, and I'm seeing the same things because, you know, it's after hours and people expect to be there. But I also see the lines when I'm there at 7:30 in the morning and after in the afternoons that are still there after 5 and before 8.
And it is 20 miles down there. It's a 20-minute drive down there. We see them coming.
You can't get there in 20 minutes unless you're doing 80.
Pardon?
You can't get there in 20 minutes unless you're doing 80 miles an hour.
19.
60 miles an hour, I think. 20 miles.
Okay, well, I have a motion, we have a second. Motion passes 4-1. Item 63, County Judge solicitation, thank you, solicitation of 9 public members and 31 alternates to serve as the Galveston County Salary Grievance Committee pursuant to section 152.015 of the Texas Local Government Code. I'm going to pick random people from the grand jury list, and Commissioner Duty will read their names and count them. Good luck with that. Oh, you got your glasses on. 1.
Jane Barroso. Shannon Popovich.
3.
Daniel Newman.
4.
Sandra Tenney.
5,
Joyce Summerall.
6,
Kristen Castro Strickland.
7,
Karen Lewag.
8,
Marco Vargas.
9,
Taylor Hodge.
Okay, that's the 9 regular members, eligible 31 alternates. Got those?
First one, Jamie Montgomery. Cameron Dunbar. Murray Hines. Jonathan Peterson. Crystal Chapman. Nancy Hutchins. James Bruce. Jeannie Thode. Christopher Sanderson. Rebecca Wardoin. Heather Harper. Robert Oss Jr. Lara Ojeda. Rondalind Campbell. Travis Manning. Kara Richard. Catherine Meyer. Dustin Miller. Nicole Reyes. Danielle Gonzalez. Jacinto Ganem. Heather Bellamy. Robin McCann. Nikki Porter. Alicia Quintanilla. Celestine Oler. Patrick Ryan. Tammy Bowles. Eric Girardi. Dragoslava Zivadinovich.
31.
Lisa Bruno.
31?
Right, congratulations, everyone.
And thank you for agreeing to serve, even though you really did. All right, brings us to item 64, engineering, receive public comments on dune mitigation permit for 801 Kahala, Crystal Beach. Open up public comment at 10 a.m. Anyone here wishing to address Commissioner's Court on public comment for dune mitigation permit for 801 Kahala? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close public comment at 10. 65, consideration of approval of dune mitigation permit for 801 Kahala, Crystal Beach. Staff recommending approval. We're looking for staff recommendations on.
Yeah, we recommend approval.
All right, motion to approve. Motion and a second by Commissioner Juicy. Motion passes 5-0. Item 66, receive public comments on Miller addition to Bayview lots 39, 40, and part of 34 replat. Open public comment period at 10:01. Anyone wishing to address Commissioner's Court on Miller addition to Bayview lots 39, 40, and part of 34 replat? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close public comment at 10:01. 67, consideration of approval with conditions or disapprove of Miller addition to Bayview lots 39, 40, and part of 34 replat.
Good morning, Elizabeth Robertson, Plating and Right Away. We recommend to approve.
Make a motion for unconditional approval, seconded by Commissioner Juicy. That motion passes 5-0. General counsel, executive session, break into executive session. Executive session, Texas Government Code, section 551.107, consultation with attorney, Commissioners Court will enter into executive session as per Texas Open Meetings Act, chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, pursuant to section 551.107 of the Government Code, to seek advice of the attorney about pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offer, or a matter which is due to the attorney from the county and the Texas List for Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Open Meetings Act relating to the following item. Claimant Cassie Powers. Executive session, Texas Government Code, section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. Commissioners Court will enter into executive session as permitted under the Open Meetings Act, chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, pursuant to section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code, deliberation regarding real property, to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, because deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of Galveston County and negotiations with a third person relating to the following item: 13.9 acres of land located at 54th Street, Broadway Boulevard, Galveston, Texas. Okay, we're back from executive session at 10:17, brings us to item D70, consideration of a settlement agreement and full release with Cassie Powers from an incident that occurred on or about May 10th, 2024, submitted by Legal Services Manager. Well, Commissioner Juicy made the motion, Commissioner Atfeld seconded, even though I tried.
You did.
That motion passes 5-0. Item D71, consideration of authorizing amendment to the contract for sale of real property with Corey Berry, trustee for the sale of approximately 13.9 acres of land located at 54th Street and Broadway Boulevard, Galveston, Texas, to extend the feasibility period until September 25th, 2025, submitted by Legal Services Manager. I have made a motion, Commissioner Juicy seconded. That motion passes 5-0. That's the end of our agenda, and we are out at 10:18.